Hi, fans of high-quality entertainment. I have loved Led Zeppelin ever since hearing, I think it was Led Zeppelin 2 that I heard before their debut. And so that was probably very, very late 1960s or very early 1970s. And I've been a fan ever since. And so I thought I would talk about their live albums because I've really been playing some of their live albums a lot recently. And I thought I would rank them. So I've got, of course, Led Zeppelin, the soundtrack from the album. The song remains the same, the expanded version. I've got the complete BBC sessions, 3 CDs. I've got How the West Was Won, 2 CDs. Oh, 3 CDs. What am I talking about? I'm a real Led Zeppelin fan. Live EP, which just came out pretty recently, and Celebration Day with Jason Bonham on drums. So my least favorite of these, and I'd love your thoughts on all of these in the comment section below. Not because it's bad. It's actually really, really good. It's just because it's so short. Live EP. And I love, one of my all-time favorite Led Zeppelin songs is Sick Again, and it's on this. How lucky am I? Out of 4 songs, they choose Sick Again. And then there's Trampled Underfoot, Kashmir, of course, and In My Time of Dying. It's amazing. I love Led Zeppelin live. So the only reason it's at the bottom is because it's just 4 songs. And, you know, the packaging really does suck with some of the Led Zeppelin live albums. And they must have everything from these concerts, right? I don't know why they couldn't make a double album with all of the live stuff from these shows. Don't get me started. In 4th place is Celebration Day, which comes with a DVD. It is excellent. And I think it was a nice way of them to do a final show with, like I said, John Bonham's son on drums, and he did a superb job. Robert Plant sounded very good. And Jimmy Page, even though he had a broken thumb or a finger? But still, they did a great job. Yeah, especially Kashmir. Robert's vocals on that are just fantastic. I don't play this very much, but I did play it maybe three months ago, and I just thought it was great. So good job. And I do have unleaded. I've got the DVD, but I just don't have the CD, so I'm not including that in my ranking. In 3rd spot is The Song Remains the Same. Now, the one issue with this is the original that came out. Of course, it had less songs on it, but it also has, is it a different version of No Quarter? Because I know that some fans were complaining that there's a guitar solo on the original that isn't on this one. But I regret selling my older one. I didn't realize at the time that it was kind of different from this, some of it. So yeah, they've added Misty Mountain Hop and Over the Hills and Far Away and Black Dog, The Ocean, which I love. And I remember seeing this in the theater with my friends, and probably crappy speaker system at the time in the late 70s, early 80s when we saw it. And I have to admit, it was kind of, it kind of dragged on in spots, especially Dazed and Confused. And even on this, I absolutely love Rock and Roll, the opening track. I think it's better than the studio version. Same with Celebration Day, and most of this is great. Stairway to Heaven, with his famous, does anybody remember Laughter? But Dazed and Confused definitely does drag, and I think it's a different version on this than the original. If somebody knows, let me know. But oh my God, I love it, but it's just too long. It just goes on and on forever. But the way they rock out at the end is awesome. But I just think Dazed and Confused would work better if it wasn't so long. Maybe 15 minutes at the most. But that's just my opinion. But otherwise, a solid album. And it's in third spot. In second place, 3 CDs, every track Led Zeppelin performed for the BBC, and it's awesome. And Robert Plant's In Fine Form, of course. And when I first showed this CD, I forgot that there actually is a booklet inside. So this is one of the better packages. Although the track listing is all very confusing. But some nice pictures. But for me, the whole band is just so good. But Robert Plant's vocals in the early 70s were the best, right? Then he had some vocal problems later on, of course. Just showing the different theaters that the shows are from. There. Look how happy they look. Yeah, even the version of Dazed and Confused, even though it's long on here, it's much better, in my opinion. So that's number 2. Number 1 is just so friggin' good. How the West Was Won. Immigrant Song, they kill it. Heartbreaker, Black Dog, Over the Hills and Far Away, Since I've Been Loving You, Stairway to Heaven, Going to California, That's the Way, Bron-Y-Aur Stomp, Dazed and Confused, 25 minutes and 25 seconds. What is and What Should Never Be, Dancing Days, I love that song. Moby Dick, Whole Lot of Love, which is 20 minutes long, Rock and Roll, The Ocean, and Bring It On Home. Like I said, the song remains the same, the soundtrack. They're in good form. They're in great form. They rock for the most part. But this is just such higher energy. They seem more, all of the songs just seem more energized and everything. And so this will always, probably until they release some, I've heard, I'm going to ramble for a second. I've heard the early 70s Japanese tour, they were really on fire, and supposedly maybe there's some master tapes of that could be released. That'd be cool to hear. But for now, this is my number 1 Led Zeppelin album. They were smoking. They're probably smoking something funny. No, but they were on fire on this live album. I would love your thoughts. And what is your favorite Led Zeppelin live album? In the comments section below. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Please remember to thumbs up the video. Make sure you're subscribed.